Thank you. Go on, Jason. I'll let you talk for a little bit. What do you think? You sticking with complexity, or are you gonna switch on me?
Wow. Jeez, Tom. Way to influence my decision.
Are you gonna betray me like the dog that you are? No, I'm gonna...
See, now I'm tempted to do it, actually, to be honest. But no, I'm still going to stick with them.
Well, then you'd be siding with Dust, and...
But I'd also be siding with Stunner.
Still siding with Dust.
Well, the thing is, maybe they'll be casting the matches tomorrow if we're the right ones, be considering we'd be ahead in the pick'ems. And right now, Complexity will be behind, unfortunately, in terms of players, until Rush does chime things up. But BlameF's already taken extremely low, and as you just heard Dust talk about earlier on, we don't know what to expect out of Complexity. Though eUnited already have their struggles with Marky not being as effective as we've seen them. It was a 16-12 scoreline when eUnited played against Evil Geniuses, which is not bad considering against Evil Geniuses, but let's see if they can do something here up against Complexity.
Well, T-side already managing to get the bomb down. There's still a rotation being held from Freakazoid. The ball is never coming. There's nobody there. They're all going to be making their way around the church and through CT. Will this give them the round victory? Def, he does have the kit. Flashbang comes through, it's perfect. Cooper leaves Obo completely blind, and Def again, he's so good with that P2K. I'm almost tempted to switch up off him playing it alone. Cooper, though, lines them up, but Rush actually gets the connection. But they need to get that kit. They need to get on the defusal. I think it might be too little too late. Freakazoid Lurk might just be doing enough. It's going to be so close. I think he's got it. He's just about got it. BlameF went hunting for that kit. And Rush, he got 4 kills.
Well, he was a man that really didn't have the opportunity to do anything on Dust 2. I mean, it was a still 16-9 scoreline. Thing was, on CT's side, they never came long. He never had an opportunity to actually pick up kills. Everyone else was securing them for his team. And hey, what a perfect time to show up here on the pistol round.
Yeah, he got 9 kills in the last map, and this time he got 4 in the first round.
Well, they didn't go long. We talked about it. Complexity liked to put a lot of emphasis towards long A on Dust 2, get him set up, and they just never went his way. So kind of hard to do much on the scoreboard when you don't have an opportunity to.
Oh, here we go again. 2 SGs board up. This has become the norm once the bomb goes down on that T side. Well, we are going to have... Food trying to make his way forward. Looking for that opening pick. There's already 3 CT players there. Dev is already could be doing damage. It's actually Rush to find the initial kill. It's actually going to be the fallback. They're going to make their way in towards this A site instead. There's still 2 players ready and waiting. Obo alongside Shazam. They've only got SMG, so it's not ideal, but a couple of players don't even have armor on the other side. That's one of them. Obo going to be getting that initial frag, and oh, the Incendiary holding them back. Cooper has actually managed to be able to sneak round behind them. He has a possibility to do damage. Looking for more than one. If he can get Rush, he should be able to get the other for free, and so impactful, so important, but they've still got a lot to do. There's still 3 players, 2 of them within this site. The bomb going to be dropped right there, and Freakazoid, he has managed one, but he's low. Even still, though, they've left this into a 2 versus 1. The brothers doing the work at the moment with BlameF left alone in a 1 versus 2. He has managed to retrieve the SG. Yet to do too much, but this will be one hell of a time. He's not going to be allowed to. Freakazoid, alongside his brother, have got the ace between them. 3 and 2 kills apiece, and that's going to be another round onto the board.
I don't know how they do it. Oh, that was a loud woo. We see this happen so many times now, where the 2 brothers have been able to take the entirety of the kills within a round. I mean, Cooper flanking him from behind like this. One of the few times we've actually seen it work out. Usually it goes against them for some reason, at least within the Pro League. Now into round number 3. United going to have such a nice buy in this, even an ump for Vanity. Complexity throwing everything in and the kitchen sink into this. And BlameF's actually being boosted up here, which he's going to have a shot for a hit. Chance for a shot. Close enough. Unlike his bullet, which didn't really tag up anyone on United.
But Once again, we've seen that SG buy end up being successful. Obviously, it wasn't really the SGs that did most of the work. It was actually Cooper with the Deeg, but nonetheless, those second round force buys just seem to be a big problem for teams at the moment. It almost seems like once you get the bomb down on that T side, it's almost better to lose the round if you're the CTs. Wouldn't recommend it, but it's still a problem. Smoke's going to be going down, but this is more of just an attempt to bait out some extra utility. Shazam and Obo still left with a smoke, and I like this. They're actually going to rotate Rush around because he's already used his smoke, and they'll send Shazam there so he can just waste more time. This was something that was very common in the old versions of Inferno because you, of course, throw the smokes from across the map, but now they can even just rotate players. But all those smokes have now gone. Still one down at least for now, but T's are going to have enough time to get their execution done. In fact, they're going to go through the smoke. Def is on the other side, taps away and does manage a kill. In fact, Rush has found another. The bomb has hit the deck and they need to be moving. Def once more does the damage and leaves it all onto Freak. But of course, Jason, there's not enough time.
What is with these rounds constantly bouncing back and forward? eUnited, the economy is not going to be there now into the next round, and Def, I think there were some questions around him being on the roster. I know we all talked about it before when we saw BlameF and Rush being signed, but hell, he's earned his spot here on Dust 2 and now on Inferno.
Well, I think the surprise for me was the fact that Sick was the one who was benched. Because at least back in the day, if you look towards the previous rosters where he played alongside Twist, he definitely looked like a real talent. Played alongside Sean Gares, and he seemed like someone who belonged in these sort of teams, but clearly was based off roles. And to be honest, it does seem like Def has fit into this team quite well already. An early kill coming in. The T's once again being able to do so much with the force buys, and once more they're going to take control of this side. I think this time it might just have to be the save for the CTs. At least give them something to fight with into the next round. Def could even drop something a little bit extra. But the chances of winning a 2 versus 4 just seem so slim. I'm not even sure what the attempt is here. Hoping for a massive mistake maybe from the United players, but nothing's going to happen, and Complexity just going to hold on to their guns.
I wonder if it's going to continue like this. Eventually someone's bank has to break. Someone's luck has to run out. It's 4 rounds in a row being traded back and forth between these two teams. And Def, I don't think he's going to... Actually, he should be able to save this one. Long range against Food, though. Food does tag him up down to 30 HP. 3 of your main players going to survive with the M4, the AK, and the SG. And eUnited's going to tie it back up. There's a lot of woos I'm hearing. There it is. I think we lost our audio. I don't know if that's just us or the stream of the players. Maybe we hit the cap of F-bombs that can be on stream, Tom.
It's possible. I don't think we've heard any today, though.
Oh, we definitely had one.
Once again, this force buy war continues backwards and forwards with neither team really coming out on top. The T's do have the better buy, but that hasn't really meant too much. And still a couple of SGs, even a rifle for Shazam, and Def once again. He seems to be relishing the SG meta at the moment, still tagged down to 7 HP, and well, the nade will do the work. Well, Shazam going to attempt to rotate in time. Uses up half the utility he had, but to no avail. There was no one there. United have taken this advantage and slowed down, and well, in all honesty, they don't really know how much of an advantage they have. There's only one weapon left. Nobody really available to retreat back and get another. You can see on the other side of the map a little bit of aggression coming out from the CT side. They kind of have to. They can't leave Shazam alone to try and defend this B side, but what they may not realize is they could be playing into the hands of their T opponents. We're just playing this as more of a patient scenario.
It's just going to be Shazam to defend this, and potentially he won't be alone if Obo's able to get here in time. He has to know they're hitting towards B with the amount of time remaining. He's going to actually pick up the pace spots at the first. Takes the head clean off Freakazoid, though. Food's going to actually peek him and return it back onto him. Now Obo. Sorry, not Obo, Shazam. I don't know why I was on him still. Trying to defend from the back of sight. He actually gets caught from behind, and Vanity's going to drop him. I'm not sure exactly what he was looking for, but unfortunately it's going to cost them the site, cost them the plant. It's going to force Rush to go for a clutch 1 versus 2.
He has a chance in this scenario. The only real problem is that there isn't a kit. I'm unsure if there's one to be had. It's right in front of him. There's going to be something at least. Food. Just waiting in case there's a rotation coming back. He needs to clear this site and fast. He does still have a smoke and a Molotov, but he's just trying to get into the site being unseen, and while Food turns around and nets the kill instead. And finally, we see an end to these 4 Spire Wars, as the CT side are not going to have the weaponry nor finances to get another investment. And that should now mean that a T side can properly be built up by eUnited.
Yeah, finally. It's been so back and forward between these two teams. We don't really know what to expect out of Complexity. I'm curious how BlameF's lurking kind of style will work for him on this map. That's what's been successful for him on maps like Dust 2. And actually a big gamble out of Complexity, trying to defend the A site. All 5 players going to be in that position. Even Obo with the Zeus. But United's still going to play it slow, not trying to give over any weapons, not try to give Complexity a chance into the following round.
I do like these mid stacks. The only thing is I'd wish there was a flash. I wish Obo had invested into a flashbang instead of a Zeus. Especially as the round goes on, it's much better if you have a flash right here. It would have been perfect. They still managed to get 2 kills, however. The timing of their peak worked very well. They're going to try and get back to B in time, but they will be too late. And that's the thing. They don't even really need to put a smoke down here. They could have just hoped. And sort of found those picks instead with the SGs. They have a massive advantage now, and Freakazoid's still lurking. I think all the damage that's been done in this round is all we're really going to get. Rush may be hoping that he can retrieve one of the weapons. Bear in mind, a couple were dropped in mid, but it seems like Freakazoid is hunkered down, set up as a human turret. And it's not going to be letting Rush retrieve anything.
Currently 9-3 though for Rush. Big majority of those coming in the pistol round. We'll try to peek in towards middle, but he'll be unsuccessful. And United now able to go up by 2. Able to build a stable economy. And I want to see more of the Complexity. Obviously, we're only, what, 6 rounds in, so can't really expect to see too much just yet. I want to see Shazam on the op. I mean, this is where I'm always going to think of that man on the B side. If you cast your minds back. But he had a good game on Dust 2. See if he can do it yet again here on Inferno. As look at this Freak actually pushing up. I'm not sure if he spot out the 2 players going towards sandbags, but it's not going to matter. He's going to know they're there eventually. Just not the right situation, and BlameF's nades come through as well. Just like that, they get 2 kills, and Food's on 16 HP. United are going to continue to push this.
Maybe a little bit too much for Obo. The trade comes back. Banana control finally goes the way of eUnited. It's what they initially wanted, but they've already lost far too many players and a lot of health on Food as well. The switcheroo. Bogdan's Law. As the AWP is handed to the lower HP player. But there's still 2 players within the site they've got to deal with. Luckily, Death is a little bit low, but this boost-up spot from BlameF, well, he's put himself on the board in a big way. 3 kills, maybe a 4th available as well, as Food is so low. A big play from him, and even a nade from a teammate to help him out a little bit. As Complexity get their 3rd, and in relatively clean fashion as well.
Okay, again, it seems like Blame likes to put himself in positions to be a playmaker. Because of how scrappy these rounds have been, because of how back and forth they were in the first 4 rounds, haven't really seen the op come out. I wonder which team will be the first one to really invest into this. And now look at this, Def gonna get aggressive towards the bomb banana. I don't think he's actually gonna be spotted out here. I don't think United have even really turned the corner to look for it, and with the smoke coming down, he's gonna be able to just sit nice and tight here. Downside is they don't have another smoke to follow up with, so they won't be able to maintain that position for a long period of time, as you already see Def backing away. And he doesn't even have Incendiary. I feel like Blame F would have been the better player to leave here, because he would have been able to stall. Or Def has to play the information game and hope the rotations will be there in time. And I guess with Blame F currently sitting towards CT spawn, he would be able to. Oh no.
Eventually the support will arise, but Def already so low on HP. These 4 spies have been massively successful for eUnited so far. 40 seconds left. They are actually going to want to double back onto this A site, looking like some sort of apps explosion, going to use their pistols almost as cannon fodder and try and set up those rifle players. We know how successful Marky can be on the entry, although didn't see too much of it in the last map. A quiet performance, which was evident when it came in. Cooper already goes down. Vanity will be able to get one, and unfortunately it's the players without the rifles that are going to be the ones getting the kill, or the one, I should say, as we get a relatively clean round from the CT side, and now they've finally done enough damage to the T side money that we can see them build into this. So that's the only real worry, is that maybe United have missed their opportunity in this match to really build into things, and, well, they've given the chance to Complexity to now build up a bank of cash. Sure, it hasn't got anywhere near what they'd like so far, but this could be their chance to do it. Blame F looking to try and pad those stats a little bit, get that HLTV ranking that little bit higher. Even has the support of Def as well, and they're going to keep that as clean as you like.
Funny enough, Def was the one to actually get all the kills there. He got the 4. I've seen smiles on his faces, and I don't know, Blame F never seems to really look super happy, even if they're winning rounds. But I guess he realizes that one round isn't a match. You have a lot more ahead of yourself on the CT side to be happy with, especially on Inferno. But again, still no op, so even with Complexity having this kind of economy, this kind of money saved up, maybe the next round, if they do start to lose some people, Shazam would invest into it. Look at this rush, actually pushed up very aggressively in middle. He has some backup, and actually there's no one even over towards B, so he was safe in one direction. The problem was he got dropped from alt mid. And now Obo trying to hold on inside of apartments does turn things back into a 3-on-3.
Well, rush by name, rush by nature, and wasn't successful at all. A single frag, definitely not worth it. Trying to catch the United, and instead given up the site. Cooper's going to be tagged up by the nade. Obo trying to make his way back in, and him and Blame F combine, leaving just Marky in a clutch. You wouldn't want anyone else, but this time it's not going so well. A decent start, but he'll be traded. Def continues what has been a fantastic map for him. In fact, a decent series overall, as he gets his 11th kill onto the board and nets a 6th round for Complexity. Now the bomb plant at least puts eUnited in a situation where they could risk a buy. I kind of hope they don't. Maybe see some pistols board up, go for an apps explosion. They've definitely shown that there's some vulnerability there for the CT side. And they are just going to opt for some pistols. In fact, the MAC-10 makes me wonder if it is going to be an apartments play. Either that or you'd see him rush up Banana, but they are going in that direction at least early into the round, so I'd like to see the smoke expended onto that balcony and then just everybody just sort of rushing out. The only problem is, again, speaking of rush, he's on a boost spot, which is not something they may be expecting here. He looks away from the flash, though. That gives them quite a lot of space to get forward. He's going to get overwhelmed, and it leaves Blame F, but, well, that might just be enough. He finds 3 kills, the shutdown in, and only 1 man remaining.
Did he just get 3 kills through the smoke? He was over towards Arch side, so he had to have. Or was there not a smoke down? I don't remember, but I mean, you saw he was very pleased with how that round did go. And finally, a little bit of a smile, a little bit of a slight grin out the side of his mouth. And why wouldn't you? 7-4 again. Rounds being traded for the first 4 rounds in this match. Shazam going to be on the up finally. It's actually switching up positions with Blame F, and he was trying to go for the aggressive peek. Now he's just trying to run and escape with his life. He'll be able to with the help of Def. Now Blame F's going to be going back towards B, while Obo in the meantime, well, he's getting confident.
I have to admit that I think my 2 favorite interviews so far have both been with Complexity players, like Blame F giving us the insight, and then Obo just being utterly adorable. Marky is finally going to get one of those entries that his team have been desiring. Shazam, and finally with an AWP, but they're going to expect Blame F. Well, they will now. Shooting off a couple of extra bullets, could have just been a little bit sneaky instead. He gets caught. Freakazoid's still here. He nearly always is, so eventually they need to start expecting him to be here. Now, while speaking of the 16-year-old, here he is. 1 versus 3. Some initial damage done. The nade will dunk onto Food, so close to giving him a kill, and that could have been the difference maker. His team does have money to buy both Blame F and Def with over $10,000. So he could just try and risk some damage, trying to spray back from the angle where his opponents were shooting at him, but instead it is just going to be the save. And while the T's have to run away from this bomb, already fairly tagged, they'll get far enough away, and so Freakazoid is really going to take any damage.
Now that eUnited have rescued the op, I wonder if they're going to slow their play down a little bit to allow Cooper to try to open things up. You're seeing that Shazam going towards B. They did catch him initially, but obviously with a lot of Molotovs and nades and flashes being thrown through, it wasn't like they were able to capitalize off that into a kill. But I wonder what kind of direction they plan to send him and where he plans to actually try to contest. Will he try to go for Shazam, because they knew he was towards B last time? Will he try to go towards middle to look for a shot? Well, the answer is he will be sitting back towards T-stairs, and the nade coming through, already doing some serious damage to Shazam, if I get my words out, and Dev's actually been kind of left to himself.
He's done a decent job so far, and him and Blame F again combine. This has been a deadly duo on Banana. T's are not out of this round just yet. Vanity and Freakazoid still lurking on this A site. The bomb likely to rotate in this direction. They have left Shazam posted alone, but after failing their initial attempt on Banana, it's only logical that they're going to retreat back in the other direction. Blame F, fairly low on HP. Vanity has to be careful, tries to make it round and just about does, and this could be a problem. This leaves Obo alongside Rush with a fair amount to do. They don't check properly for Obo though, and that makes things very easy with him sat in this corner. In fact, he's gonna get aggressive. That might be a little bit too much. Should have known that Cooper was just around the corner, but with 20 seconds left, it may not be a problem. They've got a clear Rush from this angle. Vanity is the one to try and make the play, but failing the kill initially and failing once again leaves Cooper alone with not enough time. He's just going to have to try and save this AWP, and he won't be allowed to. Complexity, they're on to their 8th. And the T side, well, they've at least got money.
Cooper was almost actually getting money screwed there, dying after time. And Rush with a good job just trying to stay alive in towards pit, waiting for the rotates. A little bit of Guess frustration in the eyes of Vanity. At 8-5. Well, we know Complexity has a decent CT side. We don't know what they're going to be able to show us on the T side since it's the first time they're playing it here, at least in an official. I can tell they played the scrims, obviously. And I'm actually curious, after they're out of the... Well, after this match is done, I kind of want to ask them, what were the maps that they put the heaviest focus on? Shazam, there we go. Nice shot of him. Takes down Food. Getting them one step closer to a 9th round as the rest of eUnited have been grouped up in towards middle. Freaks are just looking for a potential push in towards apartments, as we've seen Obo do it before. And Blame F's the one being left towards B alone. Is that the 3rd Molotov they've thrown there, Tom? Feels like it.
Flashbang through, but Marky not going to be blind. It looks like they're going to try and play off of this death around the corner. Marky again, he finally springs into life and gets 3 kills now. The bomb has been dropped, but it's not like there's any real worry when it comes to time. And Rush left alone as they catch up Blame F on the rotation. This is Marky's round. 4 kills for him, and I don't think Rush can really do anything other than save his weapon. Like, the amount of damage that's been done means at least Blame F still has cash. Rush can drop 1 and... Okay, gets caught trading weapons. An ace for Marky. That's one way to join the server, as he brings them a victory single-handedly.
Was it him we were talking about that only had like 9 kills at the end of the last map, and then he had, I think it was 4 within the first couple of rounds? Because he's only on 11 at the moment, so he's been struggling.
That was Rush.
Was it Rush? Okay.
He did only have 8 kills, though.
All right, there we go.
Map, so still...
Because I know Marky was a little bit quiet on Dust, too.
Yeah,
Which is
8 to 18, and on the first map he was 17 and 16.
Okay. So, yeah. Well, in the meantime, Shazam backing away yet again. You see eUnited trying to poise for banana control, I'd say, a good amount of these rounds. Though Complexity has been able to best them for the most part, I'd say, with the help of Def and Blame F. Another round that Shazam's been able to get the first kill, but as we saw in the round prior, it doesn't necessarily net them a victory. Awkward for Def, but he gets the first, but he's only going to get 1 again. Marky picks up 2.
Oh, okay. Blame F manages to get the second, not only through the smoke, but through the coffin as well. And it might be the final nail in the coffin as Cooper. 1 versus 3. That 9-6 looking likely, but he's not a man to doubt at any moment, especially when the last 2 players only have MP9s. It looks like they're going to double up and try and take him through the church. He could just leave. In fact, he's making his way through CT. He's looking to follow in the footsteps of his religious opposition. And actually, they've been completely bamboozled. He's going all the way back through. The only worry is this will give them the opportunity to retrieve some weaponry, have an upgrade as they go into this retake. And they're going to need it as well, because Cooper will have the bomb ticking before they even realize he's gone. They're actually not going to opt to waste the time to pick any weapons. They just want to get in as soon as possible. Now, the MP9 can be hyper accurate. Those first couple of bullets give them an opportunity. Also, Rush with the incendiary. That's going to be the bigger problem. It's just where he actually opts to Molotov off. What position is he going to choose? Will it go in for the pit? They're actually just holding the defusal. It needs to be the spam through. Cooper doesn't even know. He didn't know there was someone on the bomb. A little bit sneaky coming out from the CT side, and they will get that 9th round. A 9-6 half, fairly standard, if anything, on Inferno. And that pistol, once again, in the second half is going to prove crucial.
Well, again, Blame F and the team that he's helped build up. The information and the experience he's brought over from Denmark seems to be working wonders for the crew, as they do take the advantage, as you mentioned. But we're not done just yet. It's not quite over, as we're going to see them on the T side. And again, no idea what to expect out of them. But if you're a fan of Complexity, you're hoping they put in the work, they put in the time. And you know what? We'll find out soon.
bench, waiting for the time to pass, dreaming of what happens next. I see what I wanna be, questioning my destiny, only knowing what I see. I don't even realize I've already made a path, and I can change it anytime. I can't take it back. I know what I want, but it seems so damn far away. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. You got a voice, then you better use it. Tell yourself day after day it's time to prove it. No days off, keep the hustle moving. Wanna see you be what you wanted to be, prove it. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody.
Well, this will be the half that decides who comes out of Group B in the second seed or the third. Marky, quiet on the last map, 13 and 12 now. Vanity, funny enough, the quiet one, currently at 4 and 13. Having a rough start here when it comes to Inferno, but we know what he can do, and the Betway odds still going to be exactly the same for both these two teams. Kind of like our desk, equally split.
I'm interested by that. I suppose they are going on to the favored side, but this pistol might actually sway those odds a little bit. We're going to have an aggressive start from the T side, looking to just pressure on to Cooper. Got the USP trying to spam through the smoke, but ultimately doesn't get too much as Vanity, the man who we mentioned, having a bit of a quiet half, and Cooper now chiming in. He's dropped the bomb. It's flown forward, as all square objects do. And Oba will be able to get one. Shazam still going strong as well. Giving them an opportunity here. It looked like this round might be done and dusted. Shazam going to be looking to try and make his way towards that bomb. They've got a crossfire on it, and he's not going to be able to get past it either. It's left onto Obo. The first was instantaneous, but the second never came.
I can respect that as Shazam going for it. If he does get the bomb and sneak it away, Obo can just retreat back to site to help out. You're already in a really bad position anyways because of the bomb. As what rectangles do, they roll. I think we came to the conclusion.
Yep.
Fortunate times, but considering how the pistol round, the follow-up round went in the first half, can't necessarily say Complexity's out of this one. But with the 4 SMG, actually the 5 SMGs, eUnited looking to make some sort of bank. I think they're kind of hoping that Complexity didn't buy in this round or force them in this round since they didn't get the bomb down.
Well, this looks like an old LDLC buy. If you ever watched the Devil version of LDLC, this is something they would do all the time. Even into buy rounds, they actually did a weird thing where they would, instead of their first buy round buying rifles, they would just buy SMGs, run down banana, try and be a bit of a surprise, and then in the next round have an even better buy. Which, I don't know if I was necessarily behind that, but it was definitely interesting. We'll see if the SMGs pay off this time. MP9s at least. Very accurate, but clearly not as accurate as the CZ of Def. He's had quite a few CZ kills throughout the last couple of days.
Him and the pistols, him and the P2K as well.
Does mean there's not much to pick up whenever they do get a kill. Vanity, this is such a ride. I don't know what's going on there. I needed to fade out of that smoke. That was just too easy, and Rush has already picked off another. The A site belongs to Complexity. No. United, I'm not even sure if this is worth challenging for. 2 versus 5. I guess you don't have much to lose. I think that's the only positive here. Well, eventually they're just going to opt to fade out of the round. But yeah, fantastic stuff for Complexity. I was going to say, the difference between their T-buy and eUnited's one was the fact that eUnited went for that SG4 spy because they got the bomb down. Complexity just went with pistols, but seemingly was enough. I do wonder now if eUnited are going to try and continue the trend and force buy themselves. Well, I'd almost be surprised if they don't, considering that the majority of their players are going to have $1,400 or less.
So are we saying that the Kaplan curse actually didn't happen that time? Because I was saying, even though Complexity only had the pistols, considering how the pistol round went, or the follow-up round went in the first half, we can't count them out. And with Def opening things up like that, and of course, laying the shots into the A site, they're going to be fairly happy about that. Now they go up 10-7, as they do have 2 SGs and the 3 SMGs. And like you were thinking, United have been able to force up into yeah, okay, Shazam.
That's one hell of a start, and we've started to see some of the star players from this eUnited team cool off. Cooper had a great couple of maps, and now yet to really have the impact we'd like from him. Marky, as well, has had a round or two, but it's actually been Def. I think he's been one of the best players in the server, if not the. Really performing well, and seems with any weapon in his hand. And again, it's just going to be the save coming out from eUnited. The problem is with not only having a full SMG buy, but a force buy afterwards, the next one has to be an eco, which will put Complexity up to 12. But more importantly than that, you've basically given them the tool to make a crap load of money. So this is going to be really tough. They're going to be so financially sound by the time we actually see a buy from eUnited that I don't know if they'll ever come back from that.
Have they lost a player the last 2 rounds? I'm trying to think if the round prior they did lose anyone. Either way, they are doing some serious work here. Look at Def. He's getting riled up. He's feeling it. Why wouldn't you? His B-side holds him down were amazing. And Shazam, well, you know, the Deagle. Better than a scout. 6,300 for Def. 16 kills. And they just maintain every weapon from the prior round. This is going to be so unfortunate for the United side, as you pointed out. The money being... Okay. Well, we talked you up. And now you let us down, Def. But we'll give you a chance to make up for it. So all 5 players are going to be near the B site for United.
I like the investment into a flash. As I said, it can make all the difference in these sort of rounds. They're basically waiting patiently, and if there is going to be a smoke coming down, Freakazoid will just pop flash them through it. That's going to be the attempt, at least. Probably just waiting for the call from his brother. Here we go. There's the smoke. And there's the flashbang through it. So there's going to be a lot of players coming their way. Nice start from Food. Shazam, however, padding those stats. A quick ace. Make things look nice and easy, and well, smiles starting to spread within this Complexity side. Of course, this is where things gonna get that little bit more difficult. Yeah, I was about to say, I think we're definitely watching the wrong man at the start of that clip. There's only one person you want to be watching here, and that is Shazam.
Slight upside, though, for United. I'll be a glass half full kind of guy. It wasn't the SMGs that got the kill.
That is true, but I think they've got enough cash. $10,000 for Shazam, 8,000, and it's only been a few rounds in a row. Still, they're going to keep one of them, but luckily for them, 3 players without head armor. As said, the MP9 is very accurate with the first couple of bullets, so Food, Cooper, and Marky will have to be fairly careful. And then you've got Vanity, who's basically in the same position as Rush. If anything, it's the same sort of buy, so the tease have to be careful here because the 3 players actually on short. This is a bit of an unorthodox setup. There's no one in pit though. So that means the T's are going to get full pit control for free. The only real thing is that might be quite confusing. And I don't think they're going to be expecting Marky to be on the boost, although the trajectory of the nade might give something away. They will now know that there's multiple players around this angle. Rush going to be rounding the corner and is met by Marky. The opening pick at least going their way. Shazam needing to round the corner, and that's exactly what he does. Cooper even starting to come in on a flank, so they've got to be careful, and Def is still lurking in the backlines. These remaining CTs could get surrounded, but instead they start finding all the frags that's left just on to blame F. 35 seconds trying to make it costly, but fails. It's food that gobbles up the T side, and it's going to be another round on the board for the CTs, but this has to be the beginning of something, Jason. Otherwise, we could be seeing them crushed out of this series.
Oh, again, not too much pressure on them. Obviously, seeding on the line, but they're already through to the second group stage. I think it would be a nice little victory for them in terms of morale. Shazam going to be on the op. Cooper going to be respecting this as he was only just shoulder peeking, just jiggle peeking to see if there was the early challenge. United saw a ton of utility to use in this round, help delay. Blameaf getting a little bit aggressive, a little bit too aggressive there as he tries to challenge out against Vanity. Gets a very crucial kill considering his first top performance. If they want to start that grind to catch up to complexity at 12, it's going to have to begin here.
Shazam. He buffed his stats a little bit with the ace in the eco. We'll see if he's still hitting his shots off the back of the AWP. Vanity moves into his crosshair, but Shazam won't spot him out. Second for him, and I think his rise within the server could channel United to turn this around. He's been a big player for this team. Freakazoid boosted up, should be good for one, and there's nothing they can do about that. He's even going to fall back, but Vanity's dropped. The Molotov actually going to be forcing Freakazoid out a little bit here. Has to be careful, but hits the shot as well and gets a pinging headshot onto Obo. See you later, Freakazoid's woken up. And now with a 9th on the board, okay, the T should still have some remaining cash after they did build up so much, but the CTs could break them this time.
The lost bonus, though, is going to start to build for them. That's 2 straight. That was a great shot at the end onto Obo. And they do, in fact, have the buy. Def going to be on the Mac 10 this time. As Rush said he's had enough play in the SMG. He wants to play the AK. Heavy nade stack out of eUnited towards a bomb banana. And they actually do go for a very deep smoke as well. Technically, Freakazoid could ditch out towards B and leave Vanity to himself since he has the incendiary and the smoke. Seems like Complexity have set their eyes towards the A site, however. Smoke's being thrown in. Cooper kind of getting jumbled on top of each other. Destiny pushed straight through the smoke. And now he's going to be burned to a crisp as Marky does get the kill on towards him. And Cooper's going to continue to peek. He gets himself a double. And this push towards A has just been completely faltered. Just completely held back. I believe that's going to get one, but you're going to need way more than one to take the site.
Well, okay. There you go. The second picked up. They've actually got time to play with as well. They don't really need to rush things here. 50 seconds left. Hoping that somebody gives them an angle, and it could just go rotating away. They don't know how many players are within this site, but Marky's already had a kill. And this is an angle you have to check going into the site. The only problem is Marky is just around the corner to trade things back. Pre-fire from BlameF isn't enough, and will Rush with too many targets still hits the first. The second goes his way as well. And Vanity's a little bit late on the rotation. There should be at least a plant. He actually doesn't have any armor. This could be it! What a shot from Rush, and what a clutch at that. 3 kills, minimal HP, and yeah, you shout over the other side. That is an impactful round, an important one to win.
Well done by him. Considering the angle he was holding in apartments for such a long time as well. Sees Blame get 2 and he wants to chip in and gets the last 3. Gets to a very crucial round, considering they would have most likely have had to save after that. A little bit of a rise to form from his Cloud9 days. 13-9 now, as they're gonna take a timeout and discuss some things. Try to figure out how they can get a 14th on the board. I mean, to be fair, their T side hasn't looked too shabby, but with a couple of the A site hits they have gone for, it looks a little bit flat. And I think we can kind of agree that this round was a little bit unique, with Blame F getting the 2 kills and Rush getting the 3 when they were in a 2-on-5.
Yeah, that's a round that will sting for eUnited for sure, but the question is, can they now break back? This is something they've actually been very good at doing. In the weaker buy scenarios, we've seen a lot coming out. Look at this aggression, but it doesn't pay off initially. Vanity almost just being sent in as cannon fodder. Runs down mid and oh, he does receive a bullet. I like the boost.
Oh, wow. Incendiary into Boiler just forces them completely back. I don't know how Obo read into that.
I don't have to. I
Didn't get down the stairs, but it did at least hold them back.
oh, already tag onto Cooper as well. Not the start they would have wanted to this round. Obo definitely still wary about players in that position, but as of right now, there's nothing there. And in fact, they are gambling quite heavily into this A site, leaving the 3 defenders here with Freakazoid alone. And he's somewhat peeking, but he's so far back that if anybody did go in that direction, he could easily be smoked off and doesn't have any counter utility. Is literally just sat with no head armor as well. And you have to bear in mind, there's still 2 MAC-10s in play at the moment for the T side. I fear if they do go back to B, unless there's a good read back from Cooper in time, I think they're really going to struggle. And they're now going to start hearing that utility. A smoke thrown from afar will leave it onto Freakazoid. A single bullet to the face will do enough. Def, he's just gone running, bouncing, and Freakazoid will get 1, but that is all. And that's the round. There should not be any challenge here from eUnited. You can see the players running in that direction, but I think the call's been made. Save your guns, keep what you have. And well, the worry now is they've even given a free upgrade to Shazam, an AWP handed to him. He's had some important kills within this map, 20 to his name. Definitely the best performance, or one of them, we've seen statistically from him. But in fact, in the last map, he was pretty good on one of the halves, at least. The T side seemed to go his way.
I was actually surprised to see even Cooper come around in a position to get killed. I was expecting him to hold back towards CT, because all they had was 3 flashes to retake. And if Freakazoid doesn't get more than 1, if he doesn't get like 2 kills, and the chance of actually doing that with the MP9 out of food. But either way, this is the way the cookie has crumbled, and Complexity is getting very close to being on map and match point. And how effective is the buy going to be out of eUnited? I mean, they have an M4 for Marky.
Well, these are just the save weapons.
Yeah.
They haven't invested anything into this round. They can't afford to, and that's sort of the curse of not getting properly back into the game, because this is like the only way in Counter-Strike at the moment that you can actually be reset. Is that if you win a few rounds, or if your opponent wins a few rounds, you then win a couple, you reset your own loss bonus by, well, steps, and then they win a couple back, and your money's set back down to very little. Like in the next round, they'll be getting, I think, just $2,400, which will give them the minimum buy. And unless they're going to risk it here and purchase up, they're going to be fighting from overtime. Either that, or they're just going to hope that the 2 players with their weapons can win them around. Now, I'm never going to bet against Marky with the way that he has been able to perform throughout this tournament. Though I have to admit, it's mainly been on the T side, and it's mainly been with an SG.
I just want to point out the kill spread for Complexity. 1 player on 20, 2 on 17, 1 on 15, and 1 on 14. This is the first time we've actually seen Complexity over these last 3 days have everyone stepping up in a map. And I wonder if this is a sign of what Complexity can do. We obviously look to, you know, Cloud9 as kind of a similar fashion. If they can get all players firing, how good can they really be? And now the same question for me is, can Complexity, what is their limit? What is it going to be? Marky, though, in the meantime, going to push up. He's going to follow the rush, and that was basically the one gun they did have. Now Food's going to try to challenge out. He's able to pick up the N4 and survive with it. But they're still going to be down a man, and the B side is very, very weak, as you can see. The 3 players with the USP is going to be here. Smoke's going to be thrown in, and all it takes is 1 or 2 kills, and this could be Complexity on match point. First one going to go in the hands of Death. Oh, can't see where Cooper is.
I thought he was going to go in on the flank instead. He may just even be falling into the save. A few dinks. Surely, I think he's just going to get the call in his ear that he's not allowed to fight this one. I'm sure he'd love to, and if economy wasn't a factor in this game, we'd almost definitely see him running to try and challenge here, but no kit. 1v3. It's not going to be a possibility, and Complexity have got themselves all the way back after a first map defeat where they looked unimpressive, to say the least, to a second map where we really saw them step up and fight. And now we sit on Inferno, where they've been in the lead for the majority of this game. They've now got themselves 5 chances. I suppose 6.
What's Blameless face saying there? He looked unhappy, frustrated. I don't know what that was, but he's got to be happy about this one, considering one more round to close it out, one more round to take the second seed, and I think one more round to show everyone that these pickups with Rush and Blame F is working out wonders for the Complexity side. I think Jason Lake going to be very happy about this. But here we go, eUnited, no head armor for 3 players. They do have 4 M4s. Utility to back it up with 3 players going to be stacked up towards Banana. A lot of damage being done. Freakazoid just going to be burned down by Blame F, so the man advantage going over to Complexity already off the bat. And Cooper was even looking for a challenge here. He gets tagged up. I think that was out of Shazam. He's going to push out and get 1, gets Blame F down to 7, and surprised to see Complexity let this lead kind of slip. But a good job United to grab it.
Not the defense. Split. T-side slowly grouping up towards this A side. Both players currently within the pit, and it seems like Vanity is already making his rotation. They've got Cooper set up just watching Banana, and they're going to leave him there alone. The question is Vanity going to be there in time? The answer, yes. But nice entry from Rush again. Obo's actually going to kill off Blame F. The little man taking down his big brother. And while Shazam now left in a clutch, which isn't even going to spot out Vanity eventually. Aims in that direction, does connect the shot, but Food is there. Keeps things going, looking to retrieve that AWP as well, which he will manage to do. And there's still life in United just yet. Still a long way to go for them to be able to take this map, and with only 4 rounds on this CT side so far, needing another 5 in a row seems like an impossible task. Luckily for them, the buy that's actually coming up for the T side isn't the best, although I will say 4 of the players have weaponry, as I think Def CZ counts.
Oh, this is super aggressive too. Blame F, he's not going to spot out Mark. He's going to know he's there now. Mark needs to back away. He needs to stay alive, but he's eventually going to be traded out on. Food there, throwing a smoke in towards the back of pit. Molotov's going to come through, and Food trying to somehow hold on, wait for reinforcements to come through. Shazam gets a big kill on the Food. Cooper completely smoked off, has no chance to help out here, and the bomb will make its way in towards the site. Down to a 3-on-3 in the after plant. You have Vanity trying to flank potentially in from apartments, and Cooper, he's just begging for a pixel.
Oh, the smoke even bounces in once again. There comes a time where you wonder if they may have missed the boat. I almost wonder if Cooper would have been worth going through the smoke. I understand the risk, Molotov going to be forcing Rush out. He's dinked, but he's still standing. Eventually, Vanity will get the kill. He's taking control of Pit, but he's now all that stands in the way of Complexity, and they're going to get themselves the victory. Blame F, he's waiting. I think maybe Obo's a little bit scared to fist bump him after last time they won a match. But nonetheless, they've done it once again. Their first map of Inferno played competitively is a victory. And even, in fact, correct me if I'm wrong, I think, didn't eUnited play Inferno versus
Evil
EG?
Geniuses.
And didn't they get 12 rounds? So if anything, they've done better.
So what does that mean? Complexity better than Evil Geniuses confirmed?
No, because they lost to them. But other than that factor, maybe.
Well,
but,
they didn't lose on Inferno, at least. But still, well done by the Complexity boys. Nice to see the team coming together. I think Blame F's going to be happy, and I think, if anything, this victory gives a lot more motivation to the rest of his teammates. He talked about, we saw Rush talk about the fact that he heard Blame F was on the roster, and he was all for joining. That's going to do it for this match. We'll be back after the break to break it down.